Like the 72 Knicks, the 77 Sixers are a team that I've never ran into online for all the years that they've been in the game, and this one I don't exactly understand. I understood why nobody wanted to play with the Knicks because people just love ISO ball online and there's not really players that you can do that with on there, but with the Sixers they have Dr.J who you can do ISO ball with. He's not a great 3-point shooter, but you can score with this guy, and overall this is a well-rounded team. This is not one of those legend teams that have a starting lineup and nobody else, because you've actually got some options here as you see in the lineup. Henry Bibby is rated a 79, but the game still gives him the start over World B. Free, who's ranked an 80, and whenever I have a situation like that with these teams, I try to leave it because a bench is really important. You don't want to have a situation like I had with the 71 Lakers where the starting lineup will leave the floor and then you're just left with nothing, and next thing you know you've lost a lead and you brought your starters back in and you lose the game because they're tired. I didn't end up losing with the Lakers, but that was the situation that was brewing there. Also, you have a couple of other people off the bench. You have Mike Dunleavy, who although he's ranked at a 72, he can still shoot the ball. And then you have Joe Bryant, who's the dad of Kobe Bryant, but don't expect any kind of similarities because there is none. So as far as using this team, well, one thing I didn't talk about in the lineup section was the big men. George McGinnis is a really good power forward, and again, if you have a post game, you're going to be able to use it very effectively here. He can hit the mid-range shot, so when you're floating around the floor with Dr. J and all the attention is on him, you can find McGinnis open with some good looks and you can knock him down. However, then there's the curious case of Daryl Dawkins. We all know he's very athletic, we all know he's going to be dunking it on everyone's head, however he has zero post game, so if for some reason you didn't know that, do not give the ball to Daryl Dawkins expecting to score with your back to the basket. I tried it a couple of times to start the game, I tried a couple of the little dream shakes, and none of them worked. Actually what ended up happening, which I'm pretty sure you saw at the beginning of the video, was he ended up turning around and shooting when I was trying to pump fake for a layup, so maybe I was just messing up the move, but I'm pretty sure because again, if you look back on this channel, you've been following me for a while, you know Dawkins was a big part of that Three Kings of New York series, and I never gave the ball to him because he's not going to operate off the ball, so everybody should kind of know that, but just in case you didn't, don't be trying to use the Sixers with Dawkins for that reason. Dawkins is there for some good rebounds and some good putback dunks, and if you get to run the floor with this team, it's really good because you've got Dr. J and you got Dawkins, who for a big guy can run the floor pretty well. I think I tossed him 2 alley-oops at the end of this gameplay, and of course that's what he's known for, so be on the lookout for that. So as you see in this gameplay, this is a little bit different than the last videos I've done because I've shown some of my opponent scoring, which I normally never show because it just adds to the runtime. However, I was playing against the Raptors this time and I was pretty happy because the 2000 Raptors are basically just Tmac and Vince Carter, and that was a good matchup for the Sixers because they're not an overly powered team, and normally whenever I play against the Raptors I destroy them because they just don't have anything on most of the legend teams in the game, and one of those reasons is because they're running Muggsy Bogues at the point guard. Now don't let it fool you, the guy can play because if you leave him open he's going to knock down the 3, and of course because of his size he can pickpocket the ball. However, I didn't exactly understand the guy's strategy in this gameplay because for a lot of my offense he was running Muggsy Bogues on Dr. J, so I was trying to post him up, and I guess I had to get a couple of more games in with Julius Erving because although I know he can score and I know he's athletic, I didn't actually shoot too well with him in this game. I finished with 17 points mostly because of free throws, which I don't believe I included in the gameplay, and that was as a product of me getting to the rim so much because he was guarding me with Muggsy Bogues, and that was just a disaster really. But I still only ended up shooting 3-for-11 with him. I mentioned that because although I didn't do so great with him, I still found a way to pull off the win. And I mentioned that because that's normally the sign of a good 2K team. When the star player is off and you can still find a way to win, because I'm pretty sure for those of you that play a lot, you know certain teams, especially on the legend side, where if the star player is off, you're at a serious disadvantage, and I think a couple of teams would probably, off the top of my head, would be like the 2011 Mavericks and the 06 Heat, both very good teams, but if Dirk and Dwayne Wade aren't getting off, then you're gonna have some trouble. What I would probably recommend with this team, if you ever venture out to use the 77 Sixers, is try to run in transition because you do have Dr. J, and obviously I think he's going to do better in an open floor than in a half-court offense, especially for those of you who are more accustomed to the modern teams and shooting threes. You're not going to get a lot of threes from him, and it can become easy to struggle scoring with him like I did. As you can see, he was putting up a great fight with me until the end where I got out in transition and I got a couple of alley-oops, and that basically separated me from him in the rest of the game. And that's really all I've got to say about this team. To be honest, I'm not sure how much I'll be using them in the future because I'll tell the truth here, I was playing the 2000 Raptors, and again, as I stated at the beginning of the video, that's basically Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter. There's not a whole lot going on elsewhere, and Muggsy Bogues is relatively easy to stop as long as you're just not completely disrespecting him. And if I were to have to use the Sixers team against like the 96 Celtics, Bulls, or if somebody pulled out some of the classic Lakers or Celtics teams, I think I would be at a serious disadvantage. I don't think I would do well there. I don't think I would get away with shooting 3 for 11 against one of those teams. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys today. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed, and hit the bell next to my name if you want notifications when the next video comes out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next team.